Two horses, one race, and a clash that could define Aintree. Lulamba brings the hype, Koktail Divin brings the questions, but the real story behind this matchup isn't as simple as it looks. Because this is exactly the kind of race people think they understand straight away. You've got one horse coming in with momentum, expectation, and a growing reputation, and another that's a little harder to pin down. And naturally, people start to frame it as a straight fight. But races like this are rarely that simple. Just look at Lulamba's latest battle at Cheltenham in the Arkle. Let's start with Lulamba. This is the horse carrying the hype into the race. The type of runner people latch onto. Strong profile, eye-catching performances, and the feeling that there's still more to come. Everything about the story suggests progression. Even in defeat last time, it just looked to prove this test would be more up his street. And in races like this, that's often enough to make them the one everyone expects to step forward again. But with that comes pressure. Because when a horse builds that kind of reputation, expectations can quickly run ahead of reality. And that's where things start to get interesting. Because Aintree doesn't always reward the horse with the best story coming in. It rewards the horse that fits the race on the day. And that's a completely different question. Now look at Koktail Divin. This is a slightly different type of story. Not surrounded by the same level of hype, but that can sometimes be an advantage. There's less expectation, less pressure, however a similar profile, but this time with a horse coming back in trip. And those are exactly the types of horses that can become dangerous in races like this. Because while everyone focuses on the obvious narrative, something else can quietly be building underneath. So what you really have here isn't just Lulamba versus Koktail Divin. It's two similar yet still completely different profiles. One horse that looks like the natural next step, and another that might be arriving at exactly the right moment without anyone fully noticing. And when those two types meet, it rarely plays out the way people expect. For me, this isn't about picking a side, it's about understanding the balance of the race. Lulamba has the profile people trust. But Koktail Divin might have the kind of setup that makes things uncomfortable for a horse like that. And in races like this, that tension is often where the result is decided. If you're following Aintree this week, I've put together a full playlist breaking down the key races and the stories behind them. It should be on your screen now. And if you enjoy this kind of racing content, not just tips, but understanding the stories behind the races, make sure you're subscribed because there's a lot more coming over the next few days.